I imagine we've got some viewers here who primarily have only watched 1.16 speedrunning, and my favorite thing about 1.9 is just how clean. Oh, the runners are getting started here. How clean the Nether looks in comparison to the current Nether. It's only one biome, and there's not a whole lot going on except for the fortress and maybe some gravel here and there.
Yeah, we will see the evolution of Minecraft as time goes on. Already have some variation from how these runners are starting. Boscar beelining straight to the temple, as well as Blazer, K4 stopping off for a bit of wood, and I believe that's Javier that we have in the bottom left. No name tag up, but that smile. Ooh, that smile is you can't miss it. So
Let's see here. An interesting decision that they made at the beginning there. Some people decided to get wood, some people decided not to. Normally in pre 1.9, if you get to the bottom and there's not enough iron to enter the nether and be able to get shears, then you might want to have to mine. And so if you get sticks and wood beforehand, you can mine some extra iron that gets exposed by the TNT explosion if you take that path. But
well.
go ahead.
A couple of things I just noticed. I believe that is 20 odd iron that they have, as well as a looting free book.
A looting 3 book.
A looting free book. The exposed iron also still in the desert temple. So there is definitely options to play this seed a bit off of the general 1.7 meta. Like, as you can see, 26 iron
Yep.
sitting there in Boscar's inventory, but we'll have to invest in a pickaxe, a bucket, and a flint and steel before being able to even consider making that anvil. I'd be interested to see if any runners saw the looting option, decided, you know what, I'm gonna go for that, because looting is absolutely crack to have in this version, since all of sorry, Boscar just placing wood logs by accident. But looting has since all your resources are gained from farming mobs, the ability to have looting is is pretty cracked for 1.7.
Yeah, one major difference for pre 1.9 is the energy management or the food management. If you don't get food right away, you could find yourself walking really quickly because the speed at which your food meter goes down is much faster in pre 1.9 than it is 1.16. A strategy that you don't see too often in runs these days is what you just saw K4 doing, crafting shears, collecting a bunch of blocks that will be used later in the run for them to prepare a drop tower, where they'll be death resetting to spawn multiple Endermen. Or we might see some players might opt for running through the desert. That's really only a strategy I would do if I was taking the looting route, though.
Yeah, I'm interested to see, because looting is definitely a very non-standard option within, like, even within tournament play for 1.7. I don't believe I've actually seen a looting intent seed outside of this. So
Right.
definitely expecting players to innovate on the fly is not something that usually happens on tournaments. Most of the time people stick towards comfort, stick towards, what they know. So I'd expect to mostly just be seeing some normal drop towers coming out,
Right.
and the looting just being a an option that we'll never know how it would have gone.
Blazer being the first player to make it into the Nether, looking around trying to find where the nearest fortress is. Looks like there might be a little bit of bridging required. It's hard to tell with the size of the screens here, but it'll get more clear sooner. All 4
Yeah.
players. Oh, interesting. I'm curious if Boscar made a diamond sword. I saw the 3 other players make diamond swords, but he's currently fighting with an iron.
Yeah, currently sitting on the iron sword. I'm not quite sure what he did with the diamonds. Potentially just overlooked them. Yet two still there in the top left. Just probably overlooked them in his inventory. Happens to even the best of this version's runners. And I'd say, given the competition today, I think that Boscar is one of the more experienced Tournament 1.7 runners. I think a lot of the people competing today will definitely be looking to make up any time deficits in the back end. And Boscar's, I think, in my opinion, one of the most well-rounded and well-experienced tournament players in all 3 of these versions.
Yeah. We need to figure out who's in that bottom left-hand corner for sure.
It,
See if
it
we can
it's
get that.
Javier.
Javier.
Yeah, his
Very
I
good.
recognize his skin from MSL. He is a very creepy face. uh, Buskar going to be immediately lighting up some TNT, getting a bunch of blocks. K4 still making
Oh
his way.
no! The first set of
Oh
blocks having to fall
no!
through because it's not deep enough, revealing a gas which could cause problems later. We shall see. That's
Oof.
the, that's the kind of randomness that players have to be able to adapt to, though. You know, expect the unexpected. That way, I mean, one of the hardest parts about tournament style gameplay is just the pressure, knowing that this is the run. It's given that players have a max time of 40 minutes to complete the run. There's very little room for error here, and they just need to be able to adjust not only to the pressure of competing against others, but also the usual pressure of, are my blocks going to fall through the ground?
Yeah. Bosco
K4,
having to drop a couple more TNT because I believe his plan is to make his tower out of the Netherrack that he's collecting,
right?
not opting for the leaves. Those are generally the two methods you see, either leaf towers or Netherrack towers, as Netherrack being a lot more common on Desert Temple seeds, where you can use the TNT to farm it.
Yeah. When it comes to the tower, which we'll get to later, it's interesting how much they've optimized just getting the blocks out or getting the items out of the bottom of the tower. I know some players use uh, chests to create an item elevator, have items come back through. Some people will just tower back up later on. I'm curious to see how many different strats will be seen as they tower out of here.
Yeah.
Haven't been keeping track of the raids. Thankfully, Boscar has it on his hotbar, so we can see Boscar has three of the four, three of the 6 or 7 rods that he's going to need for this run. Again, raids have been standardized for players.
But Buskard does seem to be getting the better of the RNG aspect that still exists, which is just the spawn percentages. Like,
Right.
spawns are still randomized, you're not guaranteed to get the same amount from each spawner, from each spawn, to encourage things like what Javier's doing, which is just mining out the spawner. Buskard, Blazer with a similar setup. Buskard only just arriving at the spawner, but already has 4 of the rods.
I'm really enjoying watching K4's movement. I don't know if you saw the parkour block clutches he was doing just to travel around slightly faster, but it's very impressive getting to see how well players can optimize just the parkour aspect of this game. Small efficiencies, but throughout say a 20-minute run, 25-minute run, it can add up quick.
Buskar onto 6 rods now. Gets his 7th and will be able to exit as long as he
He's
doesn't
on
burn
fire.
here. So
Ah,
should
went
be
out.
fine. Going to be switching out Javier in the bottom left into Law, who 8 minutes in is post Never, I believe. Yeah, 8 blaze rods, way ahead of time. Plenty of time to get his tower set up. So
Oh, and look how
very good
flat that
pace
ground is.
coming out from him here.
Beautiful desert for the drop tower.
Yeah, little things. It wants to move a little bit away from the Nether portal since he didn't extinguish it. So we'll just take some time to farm some gravel, since has plenty of time before the mobs actually start spawning. Especially experienced 1-7 players will be able to just get their towers built in such efficient succession that
Right.
there is no stress from him here, and he can just take the time to front load some gravel for his arrows.
Oscaridius, the second one to exit the Nether, also with 8
K4's out as well.
rods. Oh, going through the Nether as we speak. Blazer
K4
running into a skeleton, killing it with ease with a diamond sword.
K4 beasted that Never there. Like, they were one of the later people on entry. Blazer was the first in and is the last out. So definitely a bit of RNG coming through there, but definitely just experience, pathing, and play in general, all worth respecting from the people that managed to get the fastest split.
While
Now,
commenting in chat on the nice overlay, I agree. It's very well organized. The different streams, the names. Xlorix now having, or does Xlorix go as just lore?
I think it's just lore.
I would imagine so.
Now, I have an
Lorix
important
now have.
question for you, Arkin.
Oh, go for it.
Do you know the names of individual tower builds?
Ooh, it's a big ooh for me. No,
All
I
right.
do not.
So,
I,
sadly, this
I
booth will not be able to bring you the expertise on the specifics of towers, but we both know what they're doing, so pretty good.
For the build I was watching I gotta stop putting the X at the beginning. I was watching Lore's Tower, and I want to say it's called the single block tower. I could be completely wrong on that, but if you see that there's only one block coming out from the tower directly above them,
Well,
Blazers currently looking for an optimal spot to build their tower. Looks like they're gonna be building out of Netherrack, so K4, the only fully leaf tower being built today.
yeah.
Let's see.
Has made his way all the way up to the top here, going to be setting up the little drop sections. Bosgard just going to be waiting for the capability to sleep, still has not managed to get that yet.
5 seconds until they can do that.
And there we go,
Oh,
we'll get that done.
interesting.
Drops down here, going to need to dig down lore with that as well, and we'll have to keep an eye out for the the item farming
Oh
methods that you're mentioning.
no. Do you see what's happening in the top right hand corner? They dug down and managed to dig into a cave. That is
Oh, that is going to be so difficult to work
that's
with.
usually a reset, honestly.
Definitely in RSG, but in tournament play, you have to make the best out of the situation you have.
Right.
Uh,
Looking for their
by
water
20,
bucket, top left hand corner. There we go.
Bosgard needs to be a bit careful here with the fact that he's on one heart, needs to give. Oh,
Trying to
and
trying
top
to
right's
spam
gone.
jump to reduce their hunger.
Oh, top right's back.
There we go.
Nobody doing looting free. That is a shame. I would have been really interested in seeing looting free, but we do see most
Nobody
runners.
remembers Sword Tower. Sorry, reading chat over here. Automatic so nobody remembers Sword Tower. Sword Tower equals the creeper explosion. Yeah, 3 creepers in a cave. Really helpful at the beginning of an RSG run. Pretty detrimental in the middle of in the middle of one. Let's see what's going on.
In any case, we see pretty similar tower layouts from most of these guys, but a bit of a difference in the death methods. Law just using dropping off. Boscar has some fire set up, and K4 quite similar, but also just going to be doing dropping off for the reset. While we go into this pretty pattern of play, most runners just going to be on their tower right now and farming Enderman, checking in between. I am going to take the moment to just remind people that this is sponsored by Urban Arts. They have been very kind as to throw out some support towards this event, and Cool Cat Gang is actually running a general spring fundraiser for Urban Arts.
For more information on Urban
Sorry,
Arts, there is a
sorry.
link now in the chat. Thank you to Nightbot and to Redaband, who has done a lot to organize us together.
Yep. Any
One of
money you
the
can put towards the cause is much appreciated. They are a great charity and have shown a massive support of this community, so any support that we can show for them would be much appreciated.
one of the interesting parts of this section of the run as players are dropping down to find the Enderman is you have to keep track how many pearls that you need. In general, you want maybe 12 or 13, or in a tournament style format, I might go for, say, 14. Look, Lore leaving just now with exactly 14 pearls. You kind of have to keep track of how many Endermen that you're killing and what is the probability of each one dropping, which is, of course, a 50% chance of dropping one. But um, as you're dropping, there's just a split second where your hotbar may display whether or not you have enough whether or not you have enough pearls. And
K4 also heading the 14. So he's going to be leaving tower as well. Worth noting
15-minute tower leave.
Worth
Imagine.
noting as well that these runners that are getting the earlier tower leaves are setting themselves up better for being able to farm string from the spiders to stop them needing to locate a library once they are in the stronghold. So nice little
Yep.
time save there, and kind of a flaw of some of the towers where if you have to use the whole night to get enough pearls, then you will struggle on getting that string and will have to take the time loss later as well.
Stronghold navigation is the undercover time loss at the end of every run. you know,
Well,
Thankfully in pre
yeah.
1.9, the eye should point directly towards the stronghold room, as opposed to the later versions where it points to the staircase that starts the stronghold. But one challenge is if something goes wrong, say you experience lag and you have to log out of the
Ooh,
game
Oscar.
and log back in, as opposed to
Oscar.
pointing to the stronghold. What's happening with Oscar?
Free
Oh,
creepers and a
man.
zombie.
There we go. Boscar also getting the 14. Oh man, I feel bad for just Serve in the top right hand corner having to manage that situation with the drop tower. It's really unfortunate. That's the spot that they dug into.
Yeah, they have 11, which is going to be less than optimal. They are going to go back up to the top of the tower. We'll just be taking the burning reset. FNS should keep it. Gets a piece of regen, might run out. Okay, does manage to get the reset off, so just going to be farming up a couple more. Only at 11 right now, but
Lore
as
taking advantage of some boat travel. I know in when we get to the 1.14 runs, but boat travel becomes a lot more important in terms of the time save. Nice to see it as a minor efficiency. Ooh, and our first eye break on Lore's screen.
yeah, but
Teddy
look,
Ursa also getting one. I think eye breaks were also standardized. Go ahead.
Lore is also just going to farm out a couple of Enderman hardcore strats here. Has the 8 rods, so we'll be able to
Oh, extra drop.
get a little bit extra here. Teddy also pretty far along in the run. Something I did want to comment on is this is obviously a sort of cousin to the relay format that we see happening at the moment on MCSR speedrunning. With
Yep.
obviously it all being focused on one person. And something that happens a lot in that tournament is the pre-1-9 split can be pretty definitive as to the overall outcome. So definitely a lot of weight on runners' performances, as the runs will get shorter as we move up the versions.
Very true.
Teddy in the stronghold.
Beautiful
It is
dig
a
down.
2-eye.
Properly triangulated.
It is a 2-eye. We have Servi heading out. Felasias also in the stronghold, 18 minutes. Teddy going straight into the end. Don't know how many arrows he has prepped. Looks like they were in the bottom right of the inventory. But Law
See this?
also, we did see earlier, has his arrow prep done. Going to do a safety bed, which I really like to see, actually. There is no point risking your entire run on this.
I want to point out how nice, how beautiful this end is for a pre 1.9 end fight. Just a handful of towers. Sometimes you can spawn in the middle of New York City with
Yeah,
towers just everywhere. But the less towers there are, the more arrows that you can use to hit the dragon. Which each time you hit the dragon, I am not positive on the statistic, but I want to say there's a 1 in 4 chance that the dragon will choose to charge you as a result, which can honestly save minutes, multiple minutes in the end fight, having that dragon just keep charging at you and keep lining those beds up. We
Yeah.
have seen in older runs, people back when 1.8.9 or pre 1.9 was a lot more popular, players climbing up the towers. If you get some shorter ones, you can actually time the crystals in the same way that you're timing the beds and deal a bit more damage. But looks like all players actually are opting for staying on the ground, which in a tournament style format, I'd recommend. The chance that the dragon is going to come and knock you off of the tower makes it so that you either have to water bucket clutch or use one of the ender pearls
Teddy
to
getting
catch yourself.
back-to-back charges. That is a
And
clean
that
ending.
is the end of round 1 for Teddy. Beautiful finish.
Yeah, extremely clean from him there. Had a bit of a sloppy bed the first time around, but did come at it from a difficult angle. But just getting charge after charge after charge and landing those beds in succession will let him move on to the 114-15 section. And oh boy, that sure is a
Temple's a village with a
village.
lava pool in the middle. Oh, the 1.14 player is excited to see the seed for round 2.
Yeah, that is, I believe, the version that both of us originate from. I'm not 100% sure on your end, but at
You're
least,
absolutely right.
yeah, well, 114 is definitely my home. So,
So
love.
excited to see classic strats. I'm curious how many of the players were expecting it to be a boat strat style run, but classic strats are my love. I have a, I'll have a, you know,
Ooh, little
go
bit
ahead.
damage on the bed there.
One of my 2 stickers in chat is Ark and No Temple, specifically about not being able to find the temple. So
Ooh,
again, Temple's a
3
village.
diamonds
Sorry.
and a god apple.
Ooh.
Okay, okay, ready. Give them something to start with there. Okay, fire res
Thor
not. Oh,
finishing
1
the match
HP.
with a bow shot. Let's see it.
Lands it.
Beautiful
Beautiful
shot.
snipe.
Only 2 left. Boskar, even though he was the last one to enter the end, already 3/4 of the way through the dragon fight. I'm curious if Fallacius, is that how it's pronounced?
Yeah.
Is just not getting the charges that they need on this fight.
Yeah, definitely a pretty slow split coming through on the end fight here for Fallacias. Boskard should be pretty close. One more charge and he will be done. Looks like there is a 6 obby. Okay, we're going to be. Okay, I actually need to check here. Are calculators allowed in this tournament? Because Diamond Pick and 6 obby, that just screams never travel.
Yep.
I don't believe calculators are allowed, actually, if I remember correctly. So
Calculators are not. Yeah, players are not able to use Twitch bots, macros, calculators. They're discouraged or basically told not to watch other runners or the main screen until the race is over. What is allowed is if they have spreadsheets. They are allowed to use Control F on spreadsheets to find data points, but we don't want any computers doing work for them.
yeah, I think this
So,
will still be a never travel seed. I'd say maybe there's a niche where a runner pulls out axis calc,
mhm.
but maybe one runner. But I think most runners here, I'd expect. Wait, that's looting free again. I just noticed. But okay, that one I
Not
don't
enough,
expect to come through.
not enough iron in this map for a looting run, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It would not be the best play to go searching for a cave right now to try and find 27 iron in a speed run of this level.
Amazon. Amazon one more bed off finishing the 1-7 fight here. Teddy should be getting his entry here for 114. The God Apple fire resistance is extremely common in 116, but for other versions, it is the most. It is extremely uncommon. You're more likely to see shields, but
Right.
fire res obviously making blaze fights extremely convenient.
Let's see here.
Crank it. Ah.
Amazon finishing off their run.
Yeah, we do
And
see.
man, Teddy's just so far ahead. How quickly they're already in the nether, navigating themselves towards the second fortress of the match. The Cam '06 navigating the stronghold. Searching through some chests. Perhaps they need some extra emeralds, maybe some food.
Uh,
Late game, it can be getting the bow drop from the skeleton.
that might actually be what he needed.
I think
Actually,
so.
it's
I
definitely
don't know if he.
spring. I don't think he realized, or it's too low durability and he made the decision, but still needs to do some gravel farming here as well. Camo, not quite prepped, but is notoriously a 116 player and one of the better ones at that, so will hopefully just be trying to battle his way through the first two versions to be able to show off on the last. Lore tamed a horse? Oh dear.
Horse strats, let's go! You gotta love horse strats. I'm wondering if we're gonna see any disco horses today. Do
I
you know
don't
what I
even
mean
know
when I
what
say
that
disco
means.
horse?
I
so,
don't know what that means.
so when a village has the stables with the water in the middle of it, sometimes horses will walk across that little water section, and they'll just spin in circles because they're trying to get across the center of a block that they don't want to go into. And I I'm not sure who coined the term, but I lovingly call them the disco horses. If I see one, I'll definitely point them out.
Yeah. Amazon, I definitely think that he has had the weakest rollout that we've been watching. Opted to get a full set of tools before even looting the temple, and not choosing to explode for any blocks there either. Going to be picking up the diamonds here, realizing that the full stone tools were a bit of a waste, and just not having the blocks anybody else were, which, given
Mhm.
the... Sorry, Law's just horsing around. Um, Given the fact that there will need to be some bridging done in the Nether, or just, convenient block movement, definitely will feel that missing on his end.
Lore has created a home for the horse, that way it doesn't wander into the lava and die as horses often do.
Was Law the person in Relay that got a horse as well? Because somebody got a horse in Relay, and that was extremely sad because it was Ocean. But it was extremely entertaining to watch at the very least. And I love the inclusion of just faster travel strats. Like, it's definitely a risk reward thing,
Mhm.
but very nice to see.
The amount of time it can take to befriend a horse sometimes, you are kicking yourself the 13th time that you're right clicking that horse and it just goes, nope, guess not.
You know
Teddy
what,
Ursa
Reddy?
already uh,
Sorry,
already
Reddy's flaming my relay teammate. Poor T-Wags. He's not even here to defend himself. He will
Oh
be here,
no!
commentating the finals.
What was it you who tried potion strats in the ocean
It
run?
it was T-Wags, who was on my
Oh.
team. So,
Well,
Reddy
in all
Ban hitting
fairness,
close to home.
T-Wags is one of the most prominent strat creators in the community. It, you would leave it to him to try to demonstrate some less sought after strats. I'm sorry, I'm distracted by the fact that Bhaskar has 6 diamonds at some point in this run, being able to have both a diamond pickaxe and a diamond axe.
Yeah, went through the inside section of the fortress and did locate 3 more. Not particularly that important. Maybe we'll let him fill up some of the remaining stuff. Question. Do you think
Answer.
there's a chance we see Zero Cycle here? Teddy is over prepping Obsidian here. I believe he already has enough for the portal plus a... Yeah, he has... Okay, never mind. I miscounted. But will be able to get enough for the portal plus 1 Obsidian cycle is the preferred method for most runners. If possible in this version, slab cycle and water slab cycle, both extremely inconsistent. But
You know,
we'll see.
I think the timing and just the challenge of it makes it unlikely. At least unlikely for a runner who is actually no, they're not even gonna know. I was gonna say unlikely for a runner who's in first place. You might somebody uses it to catch up, but then I thought these players aren't able to see what the other players are doing, so it really just comes down to what they are confident with. But again, in the tournament style format, I've seen it time and time again where people play the RSG risky strats and they just get punished for it. This match is going to be about completing the run. Of course, completing the run as quickly as possible, but the chance that you get knocked off or that the dragon comes too quickly, I guess you have to debate, would that be something that the designers of this tournament had in mind? Did they make the, spawn in the end convenient enough to make that easily possible, versus should you just go for that safe strat of going for the usual? I do know that for the perch, they have standardized it to make it so that the majority of the end fight is a standardized fight, but they have made a guaranteed perch at 4 minutes.
Yeah, bow strats are definitely common, which work as a nice form of perch RNG manipulation. Uh, Very easy, especially with the fact that you trade with Fletchers as part of the run in this version, to just get a bow, get some arrows, and be able to lower the RNG on that. Buskar
Yeah.
has done his mining there, has 14 obsidian. So that,
So
once
we
again,
might. I think we might.
yeah,
You're right. Very exciting. That's going to be a challenge.
yeah. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Hamazon has entered the fortress here. Law is exiting. Teddy and Bosk are both on their explosions here. Teddy purely in the lead from the pre-19 advantage, but I feel as if Boskar's 114 so far has been a bit cleaner.
Now I see that Buskar has 10 extra gunpowder in his inventory. I'm curious if he's gonna, make the extra string to get some more wood, or if he's gonna do. I think when it comes to RSG runs, the better play, which is just to get out as quickly as you can with what you do have. I used to try to create as many TNT and use as many TNT as I could, but you'd end up leaving with, you know, leftover emeralds at the end, not enough restocks to be able to get all the pearls. Or if you do, you're waiting about, you know, sometimes 40 seconds just for 4 more pearls, which if you've already got, say, 14, is not too much of a good use of time at that point.
Yeah. Interesting as well that Boskar actually opted to craft a shield here. With the Notch Apple, Fire Res, like, most of the danger of damage in this run comes from the blazes, and with fire resistance, there's just not an adequate level of threat for me to validate that, but Boskar just making the decision, perhaps just a force of habit craft, just leaves it on the offhand. But
Well, let me ask you this, BGR. Have you ever seen a runner dig into the stronghold, fall into a room surrounded by 3 creepers, and die as a result of not having a shield in hand? I've done
okay.
it.
I mean, I
I
was
mean,
I was trying to
I'm not going to say I'm as good as a runner as these guys. I'm sure they certainly could survive without it, but it is one added layer of protection for when there's the unexpected.
yeah,
Still,
definitely
you're not convinced. Still not enough to warrant it, no?
you follow your dreams, Ark, and you are extremely relatable, and it is a shame that more people cannot experience that scenario with you. But in any case, just as a quick reminder for the formatting for this tournament, where we have some sleeping going on, some trading, some blaze fights. The top 8 runners to complete all 3 versions will make their way through to round 2. They will then be split into 2 groups of the the first 2 completions and the last 2 completions, and then the middle 4 will be a secondary group where they will compete against each other separately. So, just a quick reminder for the formatting of this tournament.
Also, did want to give a shout out to all the people who've just done programming to make this possible. All of the different standardizations that we've seen added, like standardized iron drops, the standardized eye breaks, the fact that there's not rain or thunder happening in these runs. Duncan runs, Redaban, Loaf, Hunk, Hanabi, Dragon 3025. I'm sure we got a couple others here as well, but just a lot of people going, hey, can you make a quick mod for me? Just a quick, really, I just need to make this happen. That should be really quick, right? We've got a tournament in, a week. A lot of people have dropped everything to make this tournament possible. So to
Yeah.
both the hosts and the programmers, thank you.
while we're at it, shout out to Saren restreaming, and shout out to Seed Finders for getting
Seed
us these
finders.
seeds to play on.
And the seed testers. Them too.
And you know what? Shout out to my mom. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her.
I'd like to
Thinking of
thank
you.
the Academy. Better get
In
off
any
stage
case.
before someone makes a bald joke. Oof.
Alright, Teddy is going to be getting his initial angle here, does just find it. It's going to do it's going to do just a rudimentary distance calc here, get a couple of different angles, try to roughly figure out how far away it is, and then use that to try to get as close as possible in the nether.
Yep. They're doing the same movements that you'd expect to see when people are using a calculator, but you can see that they did not put in a command to get the specifics, so they're not, say, plugging that into a program. This is manual calculation and an estimated distance travel.
Yeah, Boscar's still making his way through the trading here. I believe, is Boscar playing on 115? Thanks, Oliver. I'm not 100% sure, but the fact that he's switching between Fletchers so much suggests to me that he is. A bit more performance optimal is 115, but does mean that you do not get infinite restocks on the villagers.
Right. Which sometimes you can do discount extending by, as opposed to purchasing all of the sticks for the first trade, only purchasing half of them, which means you get 1.5 full trades at the discounted amount. That's if you're doing it day one. Day two, that's not as much of a problem.
As Automat pointed out, Teddy is pulling his way through the nether, so feels pretty comfy on his count there. Going to be making an exit portal here. Law is on trading, as Axaroth, I believe, is... I can't quite tell how many...
Is it going to be
on
ocean exposed? That's the big question.
Ocean exposed in a tiger. Is going to
There
get
we
the...
go.
Is going to just get the angle here, probably hoping that he's pretty close here, sticking pretty close on the angle. Does have 14 eyes already crafted and then 3 pearls in the back. Suddenly not in a tiger.
Not in a tiger. Now in a river, using that bow travels for some added efficiency. Going to the right a little bit so that they can triangulate the angle a bit. And it's pretty sideways.
Yeah,
Tedious is not too far away. Some good nether travel and estimation. Boscar, whew!
Yeah.
Pearling through the nether as well. You've definitely seen people misplace a pearl and fall to their death in lava. Nether's a very dangerous place, but no, sticking with it.
Is going to be getting his exit here. Teddy is going to be digging down though, so looking to maintain that lead. I'd be really interested to see what his timer is actually at. But sadly, it is just the seconds that we can see peeking out from the side. It's just going to be a quick check there for the false entryway, but now just going to run it down mid. And, ooh, slightly risky jump there, but no stress. But this nav does look like it could be problematic.
Axroth in the top left doing my favorite part of the run. Blowing out the village and just listening to the sound of all the blocks getting picked up. It's a nice ASMR section that really makes looting the temple and escaping the nether a rewarding experience.
I think there are definitely two types of people, because for example, when I was learning pre-19, like I was just hanging out with my girlfriend, and she loved the sound of the leaves getting mined in quick succession, and that is grating to me. So I think that there's definitely a difference of between people sometimes.
Auditory preferences.
Yeah.
All right, Teddy has found
border room fast entry here.
Boscar is not too far behind. We saw Teddy hopping over this pool not too long ago.
No zero cycle. Very sad.
Yep.
Looks like Law prepping double bucket here, so not choosing to just mine an extra piece of obby. and could even do that in the end with the obsidian pillars, but opting to just get double bucket and place it.
Lore getting ready to do some pearl travel. 9 pearls in hand, but they're still running.
Yeah, 12 pre-crafted though, so far over the top here for Law. Has plenty spare, but Teddy done no perch RNG manip here. Just immediately gone for setting up mid and going north-south. Very 116 runner thing to do.
Yeah, there's definitely debates as to if it's the better play to take out the towers or not, and I think that comes down to how good is your aim. Because each time you hit one of the towers, the dragon resets its decision making process, and it has to set a fireball at the players before it can, get back to perching. So if you can take it out quickly, it does increase the chance that the dragon will choose to perch, but you have to be quick. A lot of times I'll see players go into the center, kind of close to the well, tower up a few, and then have a better vantage point. Boskar going. Oh no, just purling into the center for a second. I thought they were aiming at the tower. I thought they were going to try for a fancy one cycle.
What is Law doing here? Very high
No!
up portal build here.
Oh, they're building the tower pretty high up. For a second, I thought they
Yeah,
misplaced because they were looking back at it and shaking, but I think that was just because they fell off.
that
Oh,
is
Boskar using the bow
interesting.
and arrows.
Yeah,
Right
Busker
here.
immediately going for the crystals, going to at least be taking down some of them. I believe that the dragon's perching chance is it's one in I believe like 3 and then plus the amount of crystals. And Buskar's got the perch already.
Wow.
Immediately going to be
Beautiful perch
getting
RNG.
this and will actually surge into
Beautiful
the
beds.
lead.
I think it was dead on 4, but had the extra +1 at the end
Perch here
there.
for Teddy as well though. So we
So
definitely
it's
have
now neck
our
and neck.
2 front runners going into 116 here. Teddy gets the flip, going to be a bit less clean of a cycle, but does get it. As we see Boskar giving us our first view of the 116 seed is going to be a ruined portal with 43 iron nuggets, a shovel, and a light. Runners will be
Right next
loving
to
to
a
see that.
village. I was worried about I was worried about food for a second there because that can also be a challenge on this 1.16 runs. I saw the gold nuggets. I'm curious if we're gonna see any golden carrots made as food.
Oh, Law landing into the stronghold and then immediately reloading textures by accident. Going to be checking this left section, but we see CrowPro has joined us. Looks like really struggled on his 1-7 split here. 42 minutes into the overall run and just getting his 114 entry. The
That's what
shovel
a
is
treat.
enchanted? Whoa. Is the shovel looting free? That would be pretty consistent with this tournament so far. Oh wait, is it Silk Touch? If it's actually good, it'll be Fortune. Yeah. Silk Touch just means that if they try to use it to farm for a Flint and Steel, which isn't necessary because they do have a fire charge, but if they don't pay attention to that, they will just get gravel with 0 chance of Flint.
Oh, check out Lord doing the strategy I was talking about, going right into the middle, getting yourself a higher vantage point, taking out all the crystals quickly. A nice time save.
Teddy using a door to kill the golem here, but Boxcar will be set to enter Never first here, doing a quick setup here for the portal outline. That crying obby in the frame makes it so it is not completable. So we'll just have to build it out of the source blocks. Oscar has 2 beds, has iron pick. Interested to see what sort of never he has here. Law with the perch gets the
Yep.
bed cancelled and loses
Oh
another bed.
no!
is
Wow.
going to need to axe it to force the takeoff again.
Well,
Uh,
it's a good thing Laura took out the majority of the towers. We might see them run and go take out the remaining towers that are protected by the cages.
yeah,
That,
six.
or they do have 6 beds. That's not undoable by any
Interesting from
means.
Boscar here, playing it super safe, getting some gold nuggets in the wall just to guarantee some gold armor for the bastion routing. Takes a bit of fall damage, but it is a bastion set up
Beautiful.
very nicely for him to route here. A bit of lava housing, a bit of the lava floor here. Might need to bridge a little bit just to force the pathing here, but just going to be face tanking these guys. That zombie pigman will be getting in his
Wow.
way, though. Will stop some of the aggro here, so the actual follow through is going to be extremely small. Just some of that RNG that we
The con
mentioned that
the
will come through.
confidence to run directly towards 3 armed piglins and just take it to the face. No, hey, I've got enough time to keep running. That's a
Yeah,
practice movement right there.
we see K4 has come up to his nav here as Teddy with no armor. That's going to be a gold block lost for Teddy, I believe.
We got the perch for
But
lore.
Perch for Law, yeah.
Oh no.
Has he missed it again? He has missed it again. This is an extremely slow end fight coming through here for Law, which you hate to see.
Yo,
Is going to need to wait for yet another perch.
there we see lore now going for the crystals in the cages. The dragon head's been consistently
Boscar,
healing up.
Boscar dead, Boscar dead.
Oh, boss got dead.
Going to be trying
I
to get
knew
a new
it.
set of piglins mining some of the gilded blackstone there, but ends up tanking too much. Once again, just running face first.
He dug down for this section. Gonna have to take half of his health to just get back to where he was.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see because he does not have any gold armor here to protect him on his routing through. Some of the piglins were also stuck towards mid because of the zombie pigman. So Law finally getting good bed damage off, has one more in his inventory, so can do a floor bed. It's just slightly out of reach. I think this should
Has,
be in range
have to
of the
jump.
axe here.
There we go.
There we go. We'll get it on the axe here. Law, an unfortunate end fight, but we'll be able to close it out here. And as far as we're aware, should be the third runner to be hopping into 116. Ooh, Buzzcar getting... I think I'd call it lucky. Going to be that the gold that he dropped on his corpse has distracted the piglins for the most part. Obviously, Buzzcar doesn't realize what a strong position he is in. Still comfortably second place after such a large mistake. But we'll have to
Thankfully,
see.
thankfully in these later versions, your health just goes back so much more quickly. If you had to take those hits and continue another fight in 1.9 or 1.8.9, that would be a much bigger challenge. Lore. Did Lord? Oh, no, Lore's just now starting their 1.16 run K4, waiting for the Dragon Purge, not opting to take out all the towers.
The order of the versions is in just scaling chronological order. Pre-19 is the first category into 114/15 into 116.
A pack of
Is
4 arrows for Teddy. 4 skeletons.
ooh, it sets himself on
He's
fire
using the
before.
lava. Oh no! Oh, but he has the fire resistance with the
Yep,
with the
the skeletons are
apple.
fighting each other. Yeah, it does manage to work its way through. Falasias also going to be onto the 116 split here, joining at a similar time to Law. So it looks like we have a pretty strong idea of who our top 4 are at the moment. I think K4 is in close pursuit behind that group, but Oscar dead again.
Oscar dead,
Oscar needs to take a
and the
reset.
pearls just dropped into
Law
the
doing
fire.
exactly what we said earlier, Silk Touch Shovel.
Oh no!
Uh, does get trolled by that ready ban, you cruel man. But we have Felasiath getting his enter prepped here.
That's so wrong.
Colon TF colon. Look, Oscar has, with that reset here, lost most of his potential advantage. Puts himself at similar pace to Law and Felasiath, slightly behind even, and I would assume pretty close to K4. We don't know, obviously, we are limited by the technology of our time and can only see 4 perspectives at once, so we don't know how close the chasing pack is, but at a certain point, you want to just, like, every minute counts.
Right.
Teddy 6 rods already. Is just going to be pre-crafting some of his beds. Pre-crafting a boat, also 6 out of the 7 rods that you would expect him to get. Going to redouse his fire res there. There is the 7th rod. So Teddy will be exiting here. Is a Fashion Seed, so will be pretty fast as Felasias is starting their Bastion routing. Will be mining this chest, should be expecting this manhunt style route from most runners. Face tanking the pigs on his way there. Zombie Pigman once again going to be loitering and denying some of the tracking. But we'll have to see whether Boscar with his death can route his way back to where he failed this in good efficiency.
Teddy's playing this very safe. He's picked up 8 rods, has a ton of extra pearls. I think he just did a blind estimate of where to go on this one. Bit hard to get back to the portal and do educated when you could just go for it.
Yes, Aaron, definitely something that would be cool, but also something that would be extremely unlikely to be able to get set up.
Yep. So rough to see Boscar play everything so safe, only to get killed by falling damage. Falling damage does exist in this game. Falling damage can kill, confirmed.
Yeah, definitely unfortunate there. Law getting actually the best traction of the piglins here. Got a lot of them waiting in this room, just waiting for him to release them. They are just held back by that one block. Will be able to break it, get himself safely into this dig down spot, and set up the piglins for trading. Felasias already has the trading hole going. Will be going up top, as most runners nowadays do prefer 20 obsidian, as they are exiting the bastion, as it allows for more calculated travel. Even with calculators being disabled, it allows you to be a bit more specific and have a slightly better chance.
Yep, at the end of the day, in a speed run, the biggest wastes of time are movement and decision making, honestly. A lot of players have to run that balance of keeping track on what's going on around them, what they need to do next, and what's the most efficient / safe way of doing it. It's always a balancing act, and with the tournament style, just the pressure makes it so much more difficult.
Teddy doesn't have any way to light the portal. He used the fire charge and threw it out during trading. He has some iron in his inventory. If he has gravel, then he would be able to farm there. He has gravel under him. He's ignoring it. He's going back to the actual pile of loot itself. Gets fire charges from that. Okay.
Beautiful. Well, no. That was scary for a second. Yep, that's correct. BTCMR123. Teddy did not have the fire charges. Has a lava running through it right now, hoping to kill the Guardian right there. Able to
fortunately,
find his way back in.
Hoglins are set up to avoid nether portals, like active nether portals. Good old AA knowledge there. So as soon as he lights it, we'll be able to just have it walk away. No beef, no pork, no issues.
The nice thing about having ocean travel after coming out of the nether is you really only have to, assuming it's ocean exposed, only have to send one eye to get the direction, because those ender eyes are drawing a straight line to the starting staircase. And yes, no surprise here, fully ocean exposed, searching the bottom of the ocean floor, trying to see where the light's coming from. And I'm pretty sure that's the end room. It could be a library, a little bit hard to tell from the size.
Yeah, I don't think from how he's moving, I wouldn't think that that's a portal room.
I think you're right.
But is just going to opt actually to take entry staircase and work with normal nav. You can always discern some information from that, though. The fact that you could not see it visibly from surface will mean that it is down some sort of staircase.
Yep.
So immediately beelining to the nearest staircase to be able to have the most optimal searches that he can. But it doesn't look like it's going to go this direction. We'll need to head back up as we see the blaze fight happening for our chasing pack.
It's hard not to be amused by the count of 53 Gravelin Lore's inventory.
Oh,
Just the trolling of the host staying fully visible throughout the run.
definitely some of it coming from the piglin trading itself, but poor guy definitely did have to go that. But portal room located here for Teddy is going to just craft up the remaining eyes that he needed. Is a 0 eye, so 12 will be necessary. No 0 cycle attempt, which is most common in this version, but we'll just immediately get into the end. Does the 4-minute perch also apply to 116, or is that just a 114? But
That
I'm
is for
assuming.
both.
Okay, that is for
Mhm.
both. So
Yeah.
has some guaranteed waiting time. Interesting that he actually has a bow this time round after choosing not to in 114. He doesn't have arrows. He's just
Well,
Teddy.
Oh no! Did I just hear a fireball get sent onto the?
It's
No.
not in the
Little bit
it's
of
not
audio
in
delay.
there, fortunately.
You know what I was doing wrong there? I was looking at the stream as opposed to the
Yeah,
Discord.
it's the classic commentator trap where you're looking at chat over on that screen, and also just
Right.
sometimes ends up being slightly better quality on the Twitch stream. But not a it's a difficult habit to get into. Commentating is hard, guys. Trust.
I've
You
been
should pay
talking
us for
30
it.
seconds behind. Now y'all know why.
Yeah, Buskar is in Post Never now as well. I believe this is his first portal. As I do not see the ocean. If he missed by that extent, I would be extremely surprised from a runner of Buskar's pedigree.
I don't know if you caught that in the top left-hand corner. Malone just doing some E-raying, trying to figure out where the nearest bastion is.
E-raying?
E-raying, yes.
Oh, Teddy has done it. Got the purge, managed to clean it out. The lack of arrows did not punish him, and we have our first place runner for round 1.
Beautiful.
Teddy Ursa, 3-1-1, starting as he means to continue. 57-33 on the clock. Absolutely sub-hour pace, which is extremely... That's 20 record, true! Sub-hour pace, which is extremely respectable. So, big congratulations to him, as he will be locking his place as the first place runner. Law going to be doing secondary portal here, as well as Boskar. Felasias should be in pretty close succession to these guys, as Law ends up under the ocean, Boskar ends up above. Does not see it from where he came out, I believe. Difficult to tell a little bit, but will just immediately hop in the boat and make his way over there. Both of them have their angle and will be finding the stronghold shortly.
As a reminder, currently all players are running, although we're only watching 4 at a time. It is all players running at the same time, and the top 8 players to complete this will be going on to the next round. Other runners will be eliminated.
Oh, stronghold for Richie also. Actually catching up, Richie is a very well respected 116 runner and managing to keep pace across the other versions quite effectively. Landing a very nice portal from what I can tell. But Boskar, Law, both in the stronghold. Just to quickly answer Ant's question, finals are in fact best of 1. Will be the remaining 4 runners coming out of the split second round. So will be a will be a single best of one for the winner.
For a full explanation of how this tournament is set up, this tournament has 3 rounds, single elimination each round. We're currently watching the first, where all runners competing at the same time. Fastest 8 players are going to be progressing. In the second round, there's going to be 2 groups, 4 runners for each group. There's going to be Group A, which will have...
Fala's done. Sorry.
Big congrats to Fala. 59 minute and 38 combined, sub 1 hour. Very excited to see in a tournament format. The second round, there's going to be 2 groups, 4 runners each. Again, we have a total of 8 players that will be progressing from this round. The place 1 and 2 will be in a group with the place 7 and 8. That will be known as Group A. Group B will have the middle 4. And from that, the 2 fastest runners in each of those categories will be progressing to the third and final round.
Yeah, we see Buskar has located the end portal and has made his way into the end. Will be just making his way for the north-south perch. No manipulation on his part. That is a low bed count, but has respawn anchors to be able to close out there. Richi's struggling on this nav, spending a lot of time above the surface, swimming around, not actually just opting for default nav, just feeling like Ocean Exposed has to play to his favor there. Law, on the other hand, though, has just been doing normal nav and is still struggling.
Like you said earlier, when the whole... nearly the whole stronghold is visible, you have to look for stairs, you have to get as low as you can, because if the only light you're seeing is coming from a library, it means it's going to be deep beneath the ground. But man, stronghold RNG. Sometimes you find the stronghold immediately. Each of those 12 spots having a 1 in 10 chance of already being filled for the Ender Eyes. But man, if you get a big enough stronghold, you can...
Perch for Buskar, as we should be seeing our third completion come through here. Buskar, yeah, will get it with that last anchor and close out. He gets so mad, as he says in chat, absolutely seething, but still locks himself into third place there. Pretty good, especially considering the rough start to 116 that he had, and definitely sets himself up with the narrative going forward of looking for a front runner for this entire tournament.
Richie getting bullied by a skeleton in the stronghold.
Amazon done.
Half of his life is gone. He's got 1 piece of bread left. Curious if he's got any food left in his inventory, because if not, again, this is one of the situations where it might be beneficial to have a shield, but at the same time, you kind of just want to run through if you can. If you can tank it, you got to get out of there. Richie going back into the same hole that they dug down previously. Really struggling to find where the end room is and portal.
Yeah, really not clean for him on this front. Law does have a lot of beds, so should be able to clean it up. Hopefully will be better than his 114 end fight. Should be in good position to clean this up. Just to reiterate, Amazon has locked in the 4th place spot with just over an hour, as Law getting the perch here. Able to start the cycle, no F3, going to be getting pretty good damage, close it out with that bed, as he will lock in 5th place, as far as we're aware, as Richi is still struggling.
Unfortunate to see so much time lost to stronghold navigation. Like I said, it sometimes adds 15 seconds, sometimes adds 3 to 5 minutes to the run. I wouldn't be surprised to hear some complaints after this of how scuffed that stronghold was.
I feel like at a certain point you can't really complain about an ocean exposed stronghold. Like, they've done half the work for you. Like, if you're complaining about how bad an ocean stronghold is to nav, as K4 actually went to a completely different stronghold, finds the portal room instantly, and will be able to get in the end here. Axaroth is looking to grab the perch here. Looks like it isn't coming through, but Bloom's on the dig down. El Ricci is just flailing at this point. He is lost. He is absolutely all over the place and just digs
And
down
just into
into.
Well, at the point where you've checked everywhere else, all that's left to do is go down.
He must have just heard a silverfish, but that is just a ridiculous thing. As Ybot is pointing out in chat, K4 looks to be one eye short here, so that will most likely be eliminating them from contention. Bloon's dying to fall damage in the stronghold.
No!
Wait, I think that's 114. It's fine. He was super far behind anyway.
There is always a chance that there was a late arrival. Bloon's typing, my god. Sitting there on the main screen, trying to probably communicate with the referees as about what to do. That is a rough death. At this point, I mean, the run's so far, you may as well just try to see if you can get back to where you got. You need to pick up some food, get some tools, but it might be a moment where they decide if they admit defeat.
Yeah, K4 also looks like he is just stopping. Like he's stopped in their tracks right now, potentially looking back through VOD for some information. But Ricci and Axeroff both sitting in the end. Axeroff has been there for a while. Ricci just on the entry, and they're looking to try to take 6th and 7th. So then the question comes in: where will 8th place come from? Will K4 be able to clutch this up? Is he just on a different seed? Like, no, maybe I'm just blind and I thought that was the wrong bastion. That looked like a different bastion to me. Whatever. The point is, K4 is just on is really trying to clutch up here. Axeroff with the perch should be able to clean it up. Okay, there we go. We'll be locking in the 6th place spot. Ricci here with this perch looking to take 7th. As the question becomes, 8th place, where will it come from? Crow had from what we have been able to discern, a very poor 1-7 performance. Really struggling on that version. But 116 is definitely his most comfortable. Malin. Malin completed as well. Never mind, we're done.
All right. Well, this is a game of in-game time, though, and there is the slight possibility that we'll see some recalculations. We'll leave that up to the refs to tell us when it's officially time to stop. But I think we're likely to be ready to call it.
We would. I almost hoped that people had made enough mistakes for there to just be like this race for 8th spot, but we clean it out with Malin. Malin actually, I believe, on RTA outpacing Ricci. Axeroff actually hasn't put their completion in yet. So interested to see whether something's gone wrong on that front. But it looks like, as far as us Mia commentators know, we do have our top 8 locked. Unless, was Axeroff in 114? There's no way.
I'm failing as commentator. I could not say for certain.
I swear that we just watched him play 116, but if he was 114, I need somebody in chat to tell me how stupid I am. Because we're not receiving a completion from Axeroff here, saying that he is finished.
Perhaps we can get a poll in chat on a scale of 1 to 10. How stupid is BJR? We need to be sure of this. The only way to get there is scientific research.
K4's back in the stronghold, so if Axeroff wasn't actually in 116, K4's going to be getting an end entry here. And I know that Ixon is responding to whether Malin is top 6 or not, but I like the idea of that's how smart I am. 6, I think. Probably about a 6. K4 with the end entry here.
Have one vote in chat for BJR being very smart.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Saren.
But K4, if wait, Hominid messaging completions. Axe had some timer issues. There's a chance their completion will be invalid slash retimed. So
Yep. So I guess our
inter-
job's not done yet. In the top left-hand corner, we see some hopping through the swamp. You know, I might personally opt here to use a boat and just run through the lily pads. I know
yeah,
swimming through is not the way to go, but this is just some extra triangulation. Is Crow in the middle of the fight right now and just triangulating in the meantime, or do they have? No, they do have the extra obsidian to do the double nether travel.
yeah. It looks like Pro, as far as I can tell, should be eliminated here. K4 with a completion would be the last person to be able to contend for that spot, but I believe that we're just getting some bureaucratic holdups on the end of Axeroth. I don't believe that there is actually any issues with his completion. I think it's just technicalities, just want to dot the I's, cross the T's, make sure nobody's getting screwed over. So I believe Axeroth will be one of the final contenders. Will mess with the ordering a little bit, but if anything were to cause him to get disqualified, then K4 looks to be in position to clean up that final spot.
Pro spawning right next to a dolphin. Let's see if we get that dolphin travel. Absolutely. Gotta speed up that movement any
Oh,
way you can.
you know what I just realized is going to be awful for K4?
Huh.
She's still running and is going to, like, not, like, he's going to think that they're in the top 8 because they haven't been told to stop.
Right.
Because as soon as K4 is done, I think everybody will be told to stop and be told, alright, everybody's eliminated. So feels bad for K4 here, as they will receive the update of what the overall situation is. But everybody else, we can confirm, is 100% eliminated. Balloon's going to be leaving us, Pro going to be leaving us. Shout out to some of the other runners that are also participating. Blazer, actually, I just realized, is one of the most cracked at all the versions, and actually not making it through at all. Camo going to be eliminated. Already mentioned Crow is out. Tukara, Javier, as well as Suraville, all going to be 100% eliminated. K4 will pass to the next round. Okay. So, I don't know whether that means that Axeroth will be as well, and whether we'll just have a little bit of a scuffed setup, but Axeroth
Oh,
runs is
Axeroth
invalid
being
due to...
eliminated for a technicality.
Oh, that feels bad.
Ah, beautiful running and effort by Axeroth. Unfortunate that that's going to be the case, but we will get to see K4, and that's one of the reasons why you just keep running it out, even if you make mistakes, even if you die in the run, you just got to keep putting in all your effort because you never know what's going to happen in this kind of a tournament.
Yeah, K4, one of the runners that has more experience on both the start and the end of the run, pre-19 and 116, both are more to his experience and preference. So we'll have to see whether or not he can clean up his running in the middle. Okay, we're still going. Sorry, just got confused by the transition. But it looks like we do have our top 8 locked in. Teddy with quite a dominating round 1 performance.
Yeah, some beautiful gameplay by Teddy. There was not one part of the run where we didn't just see Teddy zooming past all the other players consistently at the front of the pack. There was, one moment early on there where a couple players were neck and neck, but no, beautiful playing by all players. Big congratulations to Teddy for taking first. It'd be interesting if there's, like a 10-second bonus to whoever gets, first out of all the runners on the first round, but you know, can't necessarily do that retroactively, unfortunately.
Well,
Let's see
in
here.
any case, the organizers have had to do their part. Now we have to do ours. The next round will be Teddy Ursa and Fala. Teddy Ursa, Fala, Ricci, and K4 on Group A, and Boscar, Hamazon, Law, and Malin on Group B. I don't know which order they're going to be because next in the booth we do have Automat and Nat, and I think Automat would be loving to commentate his Polish comrades, so I don't know which way round those rounds will work. But as I mentioned, Automat and Nat both going to be in the booth, and one more quick reminder and shout out !UA in the chat. Urban Arts, amazing, amazing charity, brilliant for supporting this community in so many ways and supporting this event in particular. Arkin,
Y- You
anything you
know,
want to say before
BGR,
we round off?
we've thanked so far the runners, we've thanked the host, we've thanked the sponsors, we've thanked those who have put some effort into both seed finding, seed testing, and all the coding that went into the normalization. But you know who we haven't thanked quite yet?
I feel
The
like I do, but go on.
the viewers and
Ah,
Blazer97. Thank you, Blazer, for rating with a party of 13. We appreciate all the viewers who are, coming out here to support these runners. As a speed runner, it's really encouraging to have other people as a part of the process. At the end of the day, speed running is learning to accept failure. You, especially when you do the RSG category, you are just grinding. You'll have months, sometimes 3 months that you'll go without experiencing a personal best just because of the extreme amounts of RNG that go into this game. And for many of us, without having viewers and people in chat encouraging us, commenting, just making it an enjoyable environment and making failure just more funny as opposed to painful. Thank you all for the support of your favorite runners and for the support of this channel.